So I just uploaded a short video talking about Caitlin Clark and how the WNBA, how I see the WNBA on the uprise. And it's a prophetic word for the WNBA. Um, and so I just wanted to make a video, like an actual video, to give it more, give more, put into detail what I was saying in the short film. Um, and so what prophetic word have I received from, for the WNBA? It's on the uprise. Um, what do what do you mean? You might ask. Well, I see a lot of similarities to Caitlin Clark to Michael Jordan. Not just the fact that, you know, Michael Jordan, you had the Michael Jordan era that, basically brought the NBA to the next level, basically, took it higher. Not just that similarity. Because that's the obvious, is that Caitlin Clark is likewise, going to do to the WNBA what Michael Jordan did to the NBA. Um, so, but that's the obvious. What I'm seeing, and you go back um, to before Michael Jordan. Before Michael Jordan, there were stars in the NBA. There were stars, and those stars did, behind the back passes and all kinds of like just I don't know how I don't really follow basketball that much, but they did, trick moves, I guess you might call it, and things like that, but not to the extent. It wasn't what Michael Jordan brought. Like what Michael Jordan brought was a whole new level of, like he brought what they had plus more, you know, and then plus more creativity and just a lot more, athletic and things like that. Just the list goes on of how much more he brought to the NBA. And now you have, all the stars after Michael Jordan, basically trying to, repeat what he's done. And so, likewise, you have the women's NBA. And I'm sure that you have had, the women's NBA probably has had the Larry Birds of women's basketball or um, whatever, or like whoever, um, but not really the Michael Jordans. They never really had the Michael Jordans, and you really don't have to be a huge fan to figure that out. I'm I don't want to say that I just don't really watch a whole lot of basketball, but like there's a reason why I would rather watch men's basketball versus women's. And it's because it's more exciting to watch. Like you have a lot more behind the back passes. You have a lot more like I don't know just how to put it, but like a lot more like dribble, step back, fake shot, hook pass to this guy over here running up the middle, you know, guy is acting like he's gonna shoot. Oh no, I'm going to alley-oop pass to the guy that just passed to me. Plays like that. Where the yeah, at some level, okay, and you have all of that thanks to Michael Jordan, by the way. I mean, you've had some of that thanks to Larry Bird, like, but you, when you think of those trick plays, most people look at Michael Jordan. I mean, his, he's the face of the NBA. He's the face of the balls over here. I'm gonna pass. Oh, nope. I'm gonna shoot. Or, oh, I'm gonna shoot. Oh, no, I'm passing it to this guy over here, type of plays. And yeah, you've had that with stars before Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan just brought that type of, excellency to the NBA that it's like it wasn't like it wasn't there, but it just wasn't enough. And so that's what I'm talking about is now the NBA is exciting because you don't know the person that has the basketball, you don't know what they're going to do with it. Are they going to pass? Are they going to shoot? And then you have Michael Jordan who did all of that. So I see similarity with Caitlin Clark and the women's basketball. And the reason why I would choose to watch the men's basketball over women's is simply only because it's more exciting. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what the women's basketball has been waiting for? They have been waiting for this moment. This moment is going to bring more excitement. Caitlin Clark is just like Michael Jordan is going to bring more excitement, more entertainment to the women's basketball. And that's going to bring in more fans. And it's not like the NBA didn't have um, a whole lot of fans before Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan did bring a lot of fans to the NBA. And so, likewise, Caitlin Clark is bringing this game that is just exciting to watch. It's not dull. And So I remember a time, and this was just last summer, I watched some um, women's basketball, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. Now, when I compared it to the men's basketball was more exciting, and it hit me. That's the reason why more people are watching uh, the NBA versus the WNBA. But watch and listen. Watch. I guarantee you, as Caitlin Clark, continues down the path, when her excellency in the WNBA continues, she is going to bring in more fans to the WNBA because people, they like, they like entertainment. They want to be entertained. And so Caitlin Clark bringing a whole new game to women's basketball, I guarantee you more fans are going to come in to watch. And so that is the prophetic word, is watch out for the WNBA. Watch out. Because it's not like they never had any fans. It wasn't like nobody was watching. It wasn't like they've had, stars already. But now there's Caitlin Clark, just like the NBA. Then there was Michael Jordan, right? So watch out for that. So that's something that I see that is similar. Um, you have this transition. The WNBA is transitioning. It's becoming more popular, and it will become more popular with Caitlin Clark. So, and then there's something else that I've seen that is similar to Michael Jordan. Nike. Nike knows how to choose the stars that are going to change the game. I mean, you and I just now, I mean, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, but and maybe, well, I would have looked it up if I would have thought about this beforehand. I would have looked it up. So somebody in the comments tell me if I'm wrong. But didn't Nike give Tiger Woods a deal? Whew. Oh, Nike, I'm sure of it, and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking Nike probably gave Tiger Woods And again, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, wow. They would have gave Tiger Woods a deal, Michael Jordan a deal. You know where I'm going with this? Oh, this is so exciting. And they're I've heard that they're giving Caitlin Clark a deal. And what I'm saying is I believe Nike knows how to choose their superstars. They're the game changers. The people that go into a sport and completely change it. See, Nike doesn't waste their money on just a superstar. I mean, there's a lot of superstars. Like you go to football, basketball, um, hockey, baseball. Um, you go to every sport. There's a lot of superstars. A lot of not everybody's a superstars. The superstars are pretty limited, but there's quite a few out there. In each sport, there's only one that pretty much changes the way that the sport is played. And I don't know about every, sports person, you know, because Michael Vick was somebody that kind of changed the way that the quarterback position was played. And I'm not gonna say that they might have, but I don't really know that for sure. So I'm not gonna, like go there. But, somebody please, in the comments, you know, um, say something. But see, Nike, they know who the people that are going to change the way that certain sports are played forever. You look at Tiger Woods. Now, golf, you could be like, well, what's different about Tiger Woods brought something to golf that like he raised the bar for golfers. And it wasn't like golf was bad. Like golf was pretty good. And whoever played golf it wasn't like they were bad. They were good. It's just Tiger Woods raised the bar, you know, so to speak. Like he pretty much raised the bar for every person that plays golf. Michael Jordan changed the way that the NBA players play the NBA, how they play basketball. And now you got Caitlin Clark. And it's not just that. It's the fact that um, before, so you got the similarity with the game changer, and this is a recap. You got the game changer factor. You also have the, before, what was before, you know, before Tiger Woods and before, Michael Jordan, and then before Caitlin Clark. And then you had these guys show up and things. So you have the before, so you have them, come in, change. You have the before and after picture. And then for basketball and basketball alone, you had the era where it was popular, but it wasn't like you see how much fans Michael Jordan brought to basketball, where the WNBA, sorry, it's not like it's not popular. It's just now it's going to be more popular. Um, that's where they're at. Similar to the where the NBA was before Michael Jordan. And then in the NBA before Michael Jordan and before and during Michael Jordan, you had a lot of boom, boom, smack right in the face type of fouls. Before Michael Jordan and especially during Michael Jordan's era, people and in the NBA alone, just that era, it was rough. But how much more did they, foul Michael Jordan, right? Like the NBA was a lot tougher than it is now today. Today, a player gets barely touched, and, they put on an acting show, where the NBA during Michael Jordan's era, it was rough. But what I'm saying is, even though it was rougher then, Michael Jordan still got treated the same way that Caitlin Clark did, like on court. How she's getting treated. He got knocked around more, like it was even tougher for him. Like you think about how tough the Michael Jordan era was. Pop, pop. It was like, let's put those gloves on. That's how tough it was. Let's put those gloves on and go a couple rounds. Um, for Michael Jordan, it was a little bit tougher. And so I see the same thing with the fouls, even with Caitlin Clark, like getting fouled harder than any other woman. So I see the similarity there. So you also can add that to the similarity. And I'm just telling you where the WNBA, like, I'm just saying, look, the NBA had their era of all of this, everything that the women's NBA went through before Caitlin Clark. Then you have Caitlin Clark, and now all of a sudden you have the fouls are getting tough. Well, the NBA, before Michael Jordan, like, it was okay, people watched, and then you have Michael Jordan, he brought in a huge majority of the fans. Then the fouls, they started getting really, really, um, and it's not like they always were hard fouls, but Michael Jordan got, you know, and I'm seeing all these similarities. And then to top it all off, there's Nike. If you want to know who the next game changer of any one sport, you might want to follow Nike. That it seems like Nike knows who the uprising uh, stars, not just stars, but people that are going to change how the game is being played. Nike, it seems like they know who those players are. And so I'm seeing the same thing play out from the NBA, what played out for the NBA. I'm seeing the exact same thing play out for the WNBA. Just right down to the T. Right down to the T. So that's how I know that, yeah, Caitlin Clark is the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. Congratulations. I hope that there's a Caitlin Clark fan that watches this and gets excited, and I hope that there's somebody from women's basketball, even if you hate Caitlin Clark, get excited for women's basketball because it's on the uprise. Come on. I mean, it's plain as day. It's right there under your nose. Anybody can see it. Anybody can feel it. It's on the uprise. So, and this is what the women's basketball has been waiting for. And I'm not a huge fan of, them making commercials and saying, well, look at us now and yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, look, what you guys don't understand is it's not that nobody watched it because they didn't, like, nobody wanted to watch women. Like, that's not the issue. Like, the issue is not, oh, nobody wants to watch women's sports, blah, blah, blah. No, the issue is the entertainment level. That's going to change now in the women's NBA. And I don't know, I'm probably gonna get some haters, hating me for making a huge deal out of that. But you know what? Who cares? It's still a exciting moment. Like, I don't know why you would be hating on me for you know telling it like it is. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of the complaining and whining and moaning and because look, nobody. It's not like people were not watching it because they just didn't want to watch women. Like, no, it's just has never been at the same level of entertainment as the NBA. Now it will be. Now it will be. So just like one thing that I've learned in this life is that anything that you do is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Life itself is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Things do take time to get on the uprise, but when it happens, rejoice. And you might call me a hater for saying all of that, but why? I'm still on your side with saying rejoice for women's basketball because it's on the uprise. So I don't know why anybody would actually, but I can see some people might not like what I said there, but they're just going to have to deal with it because I'm still a person polling for women's basketball. It's on the uprise, and I'm here to tell you the only thing that women's sports is waiting for is the game changers. The women that is going to come along and change the way that the sport is played forever. That's what the so it has nothing to do that nobody wants to watch women play. Like, that's a whole bunch of BS, because I guarantee you, now that Caitlin Clark has came into the picture, watch, I double guarantee you. Actually, I'll even quadruple down on my statement. Michael Jordan came in. There's a lot of fans that Michael Jordan brought to basketball, to the NBA. And now you have Caitlin Clark. She's going to do the same thing. It's not about, oh, nobody wants to watch women play sports. It's they're waiting for that one woman to come in and change how that sport is played. And watch, people are going to start watching because it's going to be more exciting, it's going to be more entertaining now. So yeah, for all the activists out there, stop your whining, stop your complaining. This is your moment that you've been waiting for. So I do apologize. Well, not really, because I did have to kind of get that out. But other than that, congratulations. WNBA. Hallelujah. This is your hallelujah moment. This is your redemption. This is your redemption. This is your time. And don't ever forget it.